hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who have applied for asylum and are currently in immigration court proceedings. So let me explain. When a person comes to the United States and asks for protection, the person it's able to do it because the government of the United States has treaties, international agreements where a person from a foreign country may come to ask for protections when and only when the person can prove that they cannot return to their countries because they are being persecuted for their race, religion, their political opinion, their nationality, or because they are part of a particular social group and their government is not going to protect them. Okay, so that's the basis for asylum. In the past many years, 15 years, people started coming undocumented. Before, people would come with a visa, stay, and apply for asylum. And very few people would come undocumented through the pedestrian border crossings. So lately, the past 15 years, like I said, more and more people started coming undocumented, fleeing away from their countries from all over the world, not only, Central America or South America, no, from all over the world. They started coming, turning themselves in to the Border Patrol officers and saying, please let me apply for asylum. And at the border, the officers didn't have to decide the asylum case. All the officers had to do was to do a credible fear interview. And what is a credible fear interview? It's only a test that shows if the person really has fear to return to their countries. A lot of people flew their countries because of the violence, because of the gangs, because of the narco cartels, and they were really afraid to go back. So at that point, the Border Patrol officer allowed them in, but not to live in the United States. They allowed them in to place them in deportation proceedings. So all these people who entered, that ignorant people says they invaded our country, they were allowed in to be placed in deportation proceedings. And they are currently in deportation proceedings. Now, why their cases take so long? Because this government is very inefficient and hasn't hired the right amount of judges and doesn't have the resources to deal with all these asylum applications. So the asylum application requires that the person goes to an immigration court hearing in front of a judge, explains his case, and so therefore the person will be allowed to explain why that they cannot go back. And if the judge believes that they meet the requirements for asylum, then it provides them with asylum and the person gets to stay in the United States. Now, if that person does not meet the requirements, then that person is issued an order of deportation and must leave the United States. That's how the process works. Well, the news today, it's a memo that the chief of judges issued saying that now judges don't have to provide that hearing to the immigrant who is applying for asylum. The judge may review the asylum application. And if the judge finds that it's a deficient asylum application, then the judge might pretermit the application. What does pretermit means? That means that the judge may stop the process, cancel it without making a decision, thereby leaving the person without their asylum application. And when a person no longer has an asylum application and the person is in deportation proceedings, then only a couple things may happen. The person is called for a master hearing, which is what are you going to do now that you don't have an asylum application? And if you don't have anything else to ask for, then you will be issued an order of deportation. Or the judge may dismiss the case, and at that point, the person is very undocumented, and ICE may come and pick them up. So several things may happen. We don't know what's going to really happen because this is just news from Friday. But it's a very, very serious situation for thousands, if not millions, of people who have an asylum application pending in immigration court. So if I can ask you for something, is to please share this live, because I need to get to all these people who have an asylum application pending and tell them this. If you have an asylum application pending in immigration court and you haven't heard about your case in a long time, please, it is time to contact your lawyer. If you contact your lawyer, make sure that he has submitted all the evidence of your case, because an application with no evidence then will lead to a cancellation of your case. So if you have evidence of your asylum application, it's very important. Without evidence, they will pre-terminate your asylum application. It is time to send it now. If you have changed your address from the time you applied for the asylum, and as of now, if you have changed your address, you need to notify the court. Otherwise, you won't realize that they have canceled your case or they have called you for an earlier hearing than the one you already have right now. So please, contact your lawyer immediately. If you don't have a lawyer and you have a case, an asylum case in immigration court, it is time to contact a lawyer right away. Because if you only submitted an asylum application with a form I-589 and a letter telling your story, you are in trouble. It is now time to contact a lawyer immediately and send all the evidence that you have of your case to ensure that you will have an immigration hearing. If the judge finds that you have a criminal history, he may pre-terminate your asylum application. If they find that you filed late, you didn't file within 1 year, the judge may cancel your asylum application. If you cannot connect your life story to persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or particular social group, the judge may terminate your case. So please, it is time to contact a lawyer right away.